Picture this. You're at the cruise terminal, bags packed, excitement through the roof, ready to board your dream vacation. Then security pulls you aside. They open your luggage. And suddenly, you're watching your paid-for items get confiscated right in front of you. No refund. No exceptions. Just gone. This nightmare scenario happens to thousands of cruisers every single year, and it's completely avoidable. The cruise industry has tightened restrictions dramatically for 2026, and some of these banned items will absolutely surprise you. I've seen families lose hundreds of dollars worth of gear at embarkation. I've watched seasoned cruisers get turned away from boarding over items they had no idea were prohibited. Today, I'm revealing 12 cabin items that are now strictly banned on cruise ships in 2026. And trust me, number 9 catches almost everyone off guard. Let's start with something that shocks first-time cruisers and veterans alike: surge protectors and power strips. You're probably thinking, wait, I need those for all my devices. Here's the reality. Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, and virtually every major cruise line have completely banned power strips with surge protection due to fire safety concerns. The electrical systems on ships are highly sensitive, and surge protectors can actually trigger circuit breakers that affect multiple cabins. Last year on a Carnival cruise, an entire deck lost power for 3 hours because someone plugged in a prohibited power strip. Passengers missed their dinner reservations, their cabin safes locked them out, and room key cards stopped working. The guest responsible? They were fined and nearly removed at the next port. Here's what you can bring instead: a simple multi-outlet plug extender without surge protection. Get one with USB ports for convenience. Check that it has no built-in circuit breaker, no on-off switch, and no surge protection label. This small distinction will save you major headaches at security. Next up, and this one gets people angry: clothing irons and travel steamers. Most cruisers pack these thinking they'll need wrinkle-free outfits for formal night. Big mistake. These items are immediately confiscated at embarkation on every major cruise line without exception. The reason? Fire hazard. Ships have incredibly strict fire prevention protocols, and heating elements in irons and steamers are considered high risk. MSC Cruises actually implemented X-ray scanning at boarding specifically to catch these items after a cabin fire in 2024 was traced back to an unattended travel steamer. A couple on that sailing lost everything in their cabin, and the ship had to evacuate an entire section. The cruise line held them financially responsible for damages exceeding $30,000. Here's your workaround. Every cruise ship offers complimentary pressing service or affordable laundry service with pressing included. Call guest services on embarkation day and arrange pressing for formal night attire. Most ships will turn it around within 3 hours. Or pack wrinkle-resistant fabrics and hang them immediately in your cabin's bathroom while you shower. The steam from your shower will naturally release most wrinkles. Now let's talk about something that seems totally innocent: candles, incense, and wax warmers. Maybe you love the ambience, or you want your cabin to smell amazing. Doesn't matter. These are completely banned across all cruise lines, including scented candles, tea lights, and battery-operated flameless candles with heating elements. Norwegian Cruise Line security will even confiscate decorative candles you bought as souvenirs during port days if they find them in your cabin. A guest on a recent Royal Caribbean sailing had their anniversary celebration ruined when room stewards discovered decorative candles they'd brought for a romantic dinner setup. Security was called, the candles were removed, and they received a formal warning that another violation would result in disembarkation at the next port with no refund. The rule exists because open flames and heating elements pose extreme fire risks on ships where evacuation is complex and limited. Your alternative? Bring battery-powered LED candles without any heating element or wax-warming feature. Or use essential oil reed diffusers that require no heat or electricity. Most cruise lines allow these since they're completely passive and create zero fire risk. Here's one that absolutely nobody expects: CBD products in any form. Even if CBD is completely legal in your home state or country, it's banned on cruise ships in 2026. This includes CBD oil, gummies, vape cartridges, topical creams, and anything containing cannabidiol. Carnival Cruise Line updated their prohibited items list, specifically adding CBD after multiple incidents where guests faced legal trouble during international port calls. Here's what most people don't realize. Cruise ships operate under maritime law and visit multiple jurisdictions. Even if CBD is legal where you board, it might be illegal in ports you'll visit. A cruiser on a Western Caribbean itinerary had CBD gummies confiscated during a random cabin check, and when the ship docked in Mexico, local authorities were notified. They were detained for 6 hours, missed their shore excursion entirely, and nearly missed the ship's departure. The cruise line will not protect you or advocate on your behalf in these situations. If you use CBD for medical reasons like pain or anxiety, talk to your doctor before cruising about alternative medications that are universally legal. Bring documentation for any prescription medications you pack. Number 5 is something practical that seems perfectly reasonable: extension cords. You might think, how is this different from a power strip? The difference is crucial. Extension cords create tripping hazards in the tight quarters of cruise ship cabins and corridors, and they can overload circuits when multiple devices draw power. Royal Caribbean explicitly bans extension cords of any length, and their security screening has become incredibly thorough. They use scanning technology that identifies cord bundles and luggage. A family of 5 on an Oasis-class ship lost their extension cord setup at security and struggled the entire week to charge phones, tablets, cameras, and smartwatches with only 2 available outlets in their cabin. Their kids constantly fought over charging priority, and Dad missed capturing key vacation moments because his camera died. Here's the insider solution: bring multiple short USB charging cables and a compact multi-port USB wall charger. Anchor makes excellent options that can charge 4 to 6 devices simultaneously from a single outlet. Also, pack a non-surge protected outlet extender to double your available outlets. This combination gives you all the charging capacity you need while staying completely within cruise line rules. Let's move to something controversial: baby monitors and walkie-talkies. Parents often bring these thinking they'll help stay connected with kids or monitor sleeping babies in the cabin while dining nearby. Not allowed. These devices operate on radio frequencies that can interfere with the ship's critical communication systems, including navigation equipment and emergency broadcasts. Disney Cruise Line, even though they're family-focused, strictly prohibits walkie-talkies and radio frequency baby monitors. A family on a Disney Dream sailing brought walkie-talkies for their 3 kids to use around the ship. Security confiscated them on day 2 after crew members detected radio interference affecting ship communications. The family was warned that another violation would result in being removed from the cruise at the next port. Here's what you can use instead. Download a messaging app that works over the ship's Wi-Fi network. WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and iMessage all work if you purchase a Wi-Fi package. For baby monitoring, bring a Wi-Fi-enabled video monitor that connects through the ship's network rather than radio frequencies. Several parents successfully use smartphone baby monitor apps that connect 2 phones via Wi-Fi. Just verify your specific device complies with maritime communication regulations before boarding. Number 7 catches so many people off guard: alcohol and carry-on luggage beyond the tiny allowance. Most cruise lines allow 1 bottle of wine per adult in carry-on bags only, but the 2026 restrictions have gotten extremely specific. Carnival now uses scanning technology that detects liquid volumes in bags, and they're catching guests trying to sneak extra bottles in creative ways. Someone recently tried bringing 6 bottles disguised in a case designed to look like shampoo bottles. Security caught it immediately, confiscated everything, and charged the guest a $100 violation fee on top of losing the alcohol value. Royal Caribbean allows wine, but absolutely no beer or spirits in carry-on or checked luggage. Norwegian is similar, with strict limits and severe consequences for violations. Here's the financial reality: if you drink moderately, the confiscated alcohol plus the violation fee often exceeds what you'd spend on a beverage package for the entire cruise. A couple lost $200 in premium whiskey bottles at boarding, then spent another $300 on drinks during the cruise. They could have purchased an unlimited drink package for less. Pro tip: if you want to enjoy your preferred alcohol brands, bring your allowed wine bottle, then purchase duty-free alcohol at port stops to consume in your cabin. Just declare it properly when reboarding. Next is something seemingly harmless: electric kettles, coffee makers, and hot plates. You might want morning coffee in your cabin before facing the buffet crowds on Lido deck. Understandable, but these appliances are absolutely prohibited on every cruise line. They draw significant power and create fire hazards through heating elements. Princess Cruises has a specific banned items list that explicitly calls out electric kettles after multiple cabin incidents. A guest on a Caribbean Princess sailing brought a small travel kettle and used it every morning for tea. On day 4, it short-circuited, triggering the cabin's smoke detector and fire suppression system. The cabin was damaged by suppression chemicals, their belongings were ruined, and they were billed over $15,000 for damage and cleanup. The cruise line's terms and conditions clearly state that guests are financially liable for damage caused by prohibited items. Your coffee solution is simple. Room service on most cruise lines offers complimentary coffee and tea delivery to your cabin every morning. Order it the night before with your desired delivery time, or visit the 24-hour cafes available on most modern ships. Royal Caribbean's Promenade Cafe, Carnival's Java Blue Cafe, and Norwegian's Atrium Cafe all serve excellent coffee around the clock. Here's one that frustrates fishing enthusiasts: fishing gear and checked luggage. Many Caribbean and Alaska cruises visit ports with world-class fishing, so guests pack rods and tackle. Not anymore. In 2026, cruise lines have broadly banned fishing equipment due to biosecurity concerns and potential damage to marine environments around ports. Holland America, known for Alaska cruises, specifically prohibits fishing rods, tackle boxes, and bait after environmental regulations tightened in Alaskan waters. A guest on a recent Alaska sailing packed a full fishing setup planning to fish during port days in Ketchikan and Juneau. Security confiscated everything at embarkation in Seattle, worth over $600. He lost that investment completely. Here's what the cruise line doesn't advertise. Most fishing-focused ports offer equipment rental packages that include guided charters, rods, tackle, bait, and fish processing services. These packages often cost less than checked baggage fees for sporting equipment would have cost anyway. Book excursions through local operators before your cruise, and they'll have everything ready at the port. You'll get better local knowledge, proper licensing handled for you, and no risk of confiscation. Number 10 is surprisingly controversial: large coolers and insulated bags. You might plan to keep drinks cold for port days or store medication that requires refrigeration. Size matters here. Most cruise lines now limit cooler dimensions to 12 inches in any direction. Anything larger gets flagged by security. Celebrity Cruises implemented strict cooler size policies in 2025 after guests were using large coolers to smuggle excessive amounts of prohibited alcohol on board. Security now measures every cooler at screening. A family bringing a standard camping cooler for beach port days had it confiscated because it exceeded size limits by just 3 inches. They lost the cooler and had no way to keep drinks cold during shore excursions. The workaround is specific. Bring a soft-sided insulated lunch bag that clearly measures under 12 inches. For medications requiring refrigeration, contact guest services before your cruise. Ships have medical refrigeration available specifically for passenger medications, and they'll store your items safely with proper labeling. Request this service at embarkation when you board. For port day beverages, purchase insulated water bottles that keep drinks cold for hours without needing a cooler. Hydro Flask and YTI make excellent compact options. Let's talk about something that seems completely random: drones and remote-controlled devices. Maybe you want incredible aerial footage of the ship at sea or your family on a private beach during a port day. Totally banned. Every major cruise line prohibits drones, RC helicopters, and similar devices both on board and launched from the ship. Royal Caribbean's policy explicitly states that drones interfere with ship navigation systems and pose safety risks to passengers and crew. A travel vlogger on an Allure of the Seas cruise tried launching a small drone from his balcony to capture sunrise footage. Security detected it within minutes through monitoring systems, confiscated the drone permanently, and he received a final warning about disembarkation. The drone was worth $1,200, completely lost. MSC Cruises has similar policies and actively monitors for drones using detection technology. But here's the insider tip. Many cruise lines offer professional photography services that include aerial ship footage taken by licensed drone operators during port days. These photos are available for purchase in the photo gallery. Or research your port stops ahead of time and book private excursions that include drone photography services operated by licensed local companies. You'll get stunning footage legally and professionally without risking confiscation or penalties. Finally, number 12 is something that catches health-conscious cruisers completely off guard: personal humidifiers and air purifiers. You might want better air quality in your cabin or moisture for better sleep. These devices are now widely banned on cruise ships in 2026 due to concerns about mold growth and interference with the ship's HVAC systems. Ships have sophisticated air circulation and filtration systems that operate under specific parameters. Personal devices disrupt these systems and can create moisture problems that lead to mold in cabins. Carnival Cruise Line specifically added humidifiers to their prohibited list after maintenance crews discovered mold damage in multiple cabins traced to guest-operated humidifiers. A couple using a humidifier nightly on a 7-day cruise were charged $800 for mold remediation after disembarkation. The cabin had to be professionally treated before the next sailing. Princess Cruises bans air purifiers because they alter cabin air pressure and can compromise the ship's ventilation balance. If you have respiratory issues or allergies, bring saline nasal spray to combat cabin air dryness. Request a cabin away from smoking areas when booking. Contact guest services about adjusting your cabin's thermostat settings for optimal comfort. Ships maintain specific humidity levels throughout, and the systems work effectively when guests don't interfere with them. Closing. There you have it. 12 cabin items that will absolutely get confiscated on cruise ships in 2026. And some of them come with serious financial consequences beyond just losing your stuff. The cruise industry is prioritizing safety and security more than ever, and these restrictions are getting stricter every single year. Most of these items seem totally innocent, which is exactly why thousands of cruisers lose them at security or face violations during their sailing. Here's my challenge to you. Go through your cruise packing list right now and double-check every single item against your cruise line's current prohibited items policy. Don't rely on outdated information from cruises you took 5 years ago. These rules changed dramatically just this year. And here's what I need you to do right now. Smash that like button if this video saved you from a costly mistake at embarkation. Drop a comment telling me which banned item surprised you the most. Or share your own story if security has ever confiscated something from your cruise luggage. And make absolutely sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because my next video reveals the 7 cruise ship secrets that crew members are specifically trained never to tell passengers. And number 4 involves something happening in your cabin while you sleep that nobody talks about. I'll see you on that next one. And until then, happy cruising.